Good afternoon, everybody. This is Superintendent Mark Scott, and I want to thank you for participating in our Hornet Digital Academy orientation presentation. As you know, this year there are two learning options for all of our students. The first is our traditional learning option, where students would come to school each day with their peers, teacher to teacher, person to person. Next, we have our online learning option, and that'll be our Hornet Digital Academy this year. So far, we have 75% of our students, or about 470 students, who are enrolled in our traditional school setting, while 150 students, or about 25% of our enrollment, are choosing to learn this year through the Hornet Digital Academy, at least to start the school year. Let's talk a little bit about the Hornet Digital Academy versus what you experienced in the spring, which was remote learning. Last spring, it was a state emergency. The state gave us lots of forgiveness in things like grades, student attendance, and high school credit, as well as state testing. Last year, we also provided students with a Chromebook who needed that for remote learning. This year, we're using the Hornet Digital Academy. That's an online learning plan that is submitted to the state of Ohio. Also, we will be held accountable this year. Students, parents, for school attendance, for grading, and for school credit. We have not received information yet on how statewide testing will be handled. And again, if your student needs the support of a district Chromebook, those will be available to you during the first days of school if you stop by your son or daughter's school office. So if you have an elementary student, stop at the elementary office to pick up your Chromebook. Middle school, high school students can stop anytime during the typical school hours to pick up a Chromebook. You can also call the school office to schedule an appointment in advance if you're more comfortable with that. Hornet Digital Academy, you may also hear that referred to as the Hornet Online Academy from time to time, but we're talking about the same thing. So what is the Hornet Digital Academy? Hornet Digital Academy are online courses that offer students flexibility and choices about how and when they learn. The curriculum, they are state standard, and they're aligned by pace, scope, and sequence in the classroom using a CELUS. So they're the same standards, the same skills that a student would be learning in a traditional classroom, although they might not be taught at the same time or the same pace. Special education services may be adjusted working in collaboration with the IEP team. If you have IEP specific questions, I encourage you to reach out to Don Kaufman, our Director of Curriculum and our Director of Special Education. Attendance is based on completion hours and progress, and attendance will be reported and monitored weekly. So last year, spring, when we did remote learning, attendance was not monitored on a weekly and daily basis. With the Hornet Digital Academy, students will be required to meet their attendance requirements. So we will get into that here in a few slides. Hornet Digital Academy access. Once we have you registered and your class schedule all set up, you'll be able to go to a CELUS home screen. You'll receive an email that you can download an app. Families will be sent login information. You'll get that via email. Students can contact Brown Local Schools for support at any time during this typical school day. So even though you have access to your Hornet Digital Academy 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, if you need assistance from our staff, we are happy to provide that to you, but it'll need to be done during the typical school day. The CELUS platform works with multiple devices, including mobile devices. So you don't have to have a school Chromebook to access the Hornet Digital Academy. Any device, an iPad, a tablet, a Chromebook, a Mac computer, any sort of device, even your mobile devices, you'll be able to access the Hornet Digital Academy from. Hornet Digital Academy access. Whenever you log in, your student will participate in a student orientation. The platform is very, very simple to use. It's simple for parents to check on student progress and student attendance. And it's very simple for students, even our elementary age students, to navigate, find their courses, and work through their lessons independently. Kindergarten, first, second graders, those students obviously will need a little more support, especially at the start, to navigate, use the mouse, use the Chromebook, use the tablet to complete their curriculum and their activities. But for the most part, students of all ages should be very successful and be able to work independently through the Hornet Digital Academy. Here's our points of contact for our Hornet Digital Academy. At the middle school, high school, of course, we have Principal Mr. Tim Babachek and Mr. Jeremy Taylor. They can help you with things like scheduling, making sure you're in the appropriate classes. At the elementary level, we have Mrs. Hawk and Mrs. Lauren Wagner, our guidance counselor. Scheduling's a lot more simple at the elementary level. We'll have your 4 core classes: reading, math, science, and social studies. And then we'll also be able to give students 1 special course. If you need help at any time through the Hornet Digital Academy, troubleshooting, you're having difficulty with technology, you're having difficulty editing, enrolling in, or you're having difficulty accessing your courses, then we were going to ask that you reach out to Mrs. Stephanie McNutt. She's our Hornet Digital Academy lead teacher, or Mr. Jason Powers, who will be our HDA lead tutor. They'll be able to help you with any problems, any troubleshooting, any situation that you're not certain of. Reach out to those individuals via email, via phone call, and they'll be able to help you. You do need to sign a Hornet Digital Academy contract. We're asking that all family members sign 1 contract for each of their children who are enrolled in the Hornet Digital Academy. The contract simply states that it's going to be a partnership. The family and the student are committed to logging on each day, to working on their assignments each day, being committed to that education, being committed to contacting the school, and continuing the partnership between home and school to ensure that all of our students can be successful. So on our Hornet Digital Academy website, on our Brown Local Schools website, we ask that after you preview the orientation video here, you take a look at the Student Hornet Digital Academy Handbook, and then you log in and sign the contract that you're agreeing to work together to hold your student accountable and to have your student meet their expectations for attendance and schoolwork through the Hornet Digital Academy. Basically, we're asking that you agree to have a partnership with the school and to do your very best on your schoolwork. Speaking of Hornet Digital Academy expectations, you are expected to have access to the internet. We have district Chromebooks available, or you may use your own devices. Students are expected to engage about 4 hours each day. So every day that Brown Local Schools is in session, if we have a school day that day, the student would be expected to work approximately 4 hours each school day. If we have a snow day or a holiday, or for some reason we only have a 3-day week, then you would only be responsible for those 3 days. You can, of course, find our school calendar on our website. Students will be enrolled in between 4 and 6 courses, and we expect that 25% of the course be completed by the end of each grading period. So at the end of our first grading period, 25%. At the end of the second grade period, 50%. At the end of the third grading period, you should have 75% done. And of course, at the end of the school year, you need to have 100% of each course completed in order to earn those grades and those credits. Students do have the option to enroll in traditional school at the end of each grading period. So if you start on our HDA Academy, we would expect that you stay on that for at least 9 weeks. If at the end of the first 9 weeks, you decide you want to come back to traditional school setting, we will welcome you back in that setting. But we ask that once you start a 9 weeks in the Hornet Digital Academy, that you complete that 9 weeks before enrolling into our traditional school setting. Online courses offer a lot of flexibility for students on how and when they work. They can work in the evenings, they can work on weekends, they can work during the school day, whatever works best for you and your family. Our curriculum is aligned to state standards. The skills, the standards students are being taught are all grade level, Ohio State standards. Again, however, they may not necessarily be in the same pace and at the same sequence that they are here in a traditional school setting. Students can be supported by online learning coaches. If you're struggling, you can reach out to Mrs. McNutt or Mr. Powers, and they can assign you to an online learning coach to offer support. Also, if the rigor is not quite enough on the Hornet Digital Academy, you can reach out. We can get you connected with an online learning coaches. An online learning coach is one of our traditional teachers, and they can present to you some enrichment activities through Google Classroom, through websites, through direct instruction to help each student meet their needs. Not all district courses are offered through the Hornet Digital Academy. Not all of our advanced college credit plus or gifted courses are offered on our Hornet Digital Academy. Special education services may be adjusted. You can work with Mrs. Dawn Kaufman if you have any questions about how your child's IEP will be implemented. But please know, intervention specialist, if you have an IEP and you have special education services, an intervention specialist will be reaching out to your family to determine the best way to deliver those IEP services to you through the Hornet Digital Academy and through direct intervention. Attendance is based on two things, both progress and participation. Hornet Digital Academy students, as far as progress goes, students are expected to hit those 25% benchmarks at the end of each grading period. Once a student reaches a benchmark, they will be unable to move forward in the curriculum until the start of the next grading period. So if your English language arts class, if you've reached that 25%, let's say you did that in 5 or 6 weeks, you'll be held there until the start of the second 9 weeks. So if that would be an opportunity. If you do finish all of your courses early, you could reach out to us. We could connect you with a Hornet Digital Academy coach who could offer you enrichment, or we do have special assignments that could be offered as well. Again, we'll ask you to reach out to Mrs. McNutt, our Hornet Digital Academy lead teacher, to meet those individual and specific needs. Attendance. Hornet Digital Academy students are expected to complete 4 hours of engagement for each school day. A typical school week would be 20 hours. That's if we have a full 5-day week. Hornet Digital Academy students need to follow the calendar set forth by Brown Local School District. Hornet Digital Academy students do have access to the online curriculum 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Hours will be counted each week starting at 12 o'clock a.m. on Monday. So first thing Monday morning through the very end of Sunday evening. So you have that huge time frame. You take a look at our calendar. If we had 5 days that week, so you have from Monday morning till the very end of Sunday night to complete those required 20 hours. If we had a 4-day week, then that would be 16 hours you'd be required to complete. However, it's asynchronous. So if a student has met their progress percentage requirement, for example, they completed 25% of all their enrolled courses before the end of the first grading period, they are exempt from the Hornet Digital hours requirements until the new grading period begins. So you can meet your attendance requirements one of two ways. Number one, by working 4 hours for each school day that Brown Local Schools had that week, or by reaching the percentage benchmark in each of your classes before the conclusion of that particular 9 weeks. Attendance will be monitored and entered weekly. Students not meeting attendance requirements are subject to the Brown Local Schools attendance policy. Hornet Digital Academy courses can be completed asynchronously at any time throughout the week. All uncompleted hours will be counted as unexcused absences unless accompanied by a valid school excuse and documentation. So if you did not reach, if we had a full 5-day week and you did not reach your 20 hours of engagement and you haven't met your 25% benchmark for that particular 9 weeks, then let's say that you work 16 hours out of the 20 hours that you were assigned to work that week, and you haven't completed all of your benchmarks. At that time, we would take those hours and you would be counted as being present 4 days and absent 1 day for that week. So we do take attendance weekly, we do monitor it, and we do enter it. And that's not just Brown Local Schools, that is required by the Ohio Department of Education. If you're not meeting your hours, if you're not meeting your success rate and your progress, we will have guidance counselors, principals, and our lead teacher and tutor for the Hornet Digital Academy will reaching out to you to help you come up with a plan so that your child can better meet their attendance and progress requirements. Families, for grading, you want to check your students' grade, and they will earn a grade through the Hornet Digital Academy. Families can log into Celis at any time to monitor their students' progress and achievement. Students will receive a grade each grading period based on achievement percentage and completion percentage. A Celis achievement percentage will be aligned to the Malvern Elementary, Middle School, and High School grading scales. You can find those grading scales in our Hornet Digital Academy Student Handbook. A student's final grade will be based on the overall achievement percentage when 100% of the course is complete. So that end of course grade, when you've completed 100% of the course, that is the grade that will ultimately go on a student's transcript, ultimately will go on their final grade card. We will give a grade for each 9 weeks, but in order to earn that grade, you have to have met the percentage completion benchmark for that grade. If you haven't met your 25% grade, you could receive a lowered grade for that 9 weeks based on how much of your course completion benchmark you did not reach. Our Hornet Digital Academy support. While students have access to the Hornet Digital Academy 24 hours a day, they will have access to our Hornet Online Academy leaders from 8 o'clock a.m. to 2:30 each day. Families can also reach out for support from a highly qualified teacher for enrichment and intervention after school hours. So if you need help, if you need support, contact us during the school day and we will get you connected and get you paired with an online learning coach. Students on IEPs will receive services by a licensed intervention specialist. Mental health and counseling support are still absolutely available to you. Hornet Digital Academy students have access to our Malvern guidance counselors. You also have access to our mental health counselors. These services can be provided in person or through Google Meets. If you need support from a guidance counselor, you can reach out to Mr. Jeremy Taylor or Mrs. Lauren Wagner at their email addresses or by calling the appropriate school office. Also, students enrolled in the Hornet Digital Academy are going to have access to food service. They'll have access to extracurricular events. You are a full Malvern student, so you can participate in sports, band, extracurriculars, and you can reach out to us if you need assistance or would like to participate in our food service program as well. More information on food service will be coming in the next few days here. In conclusion, I would like to thank you for participating in our Hornet Digital Academy orientation video. I encourage you to now get on and take a look at our Hornet Digital Academy handbook, and then we will need you to go ahead on that same location on our school website or on our Hornet Pride Facebook page or Malvern Elementary School Facebook page. You can find this presentation. You can find the Hornet Digital Academy handbook, and you can find your Hornet Digital Academy contract. So we need you to go in. If you could do that now, go ahead and log in and fill out the contract for each of your children who are starting the year on the Hornet Digital Academy. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you have found this information beneficial. I hope that makes you more comfortable as we get started. If you have any questions, concerns at all, reach out to one of our Hornet Digital Academy lead teachers, myself, or building principals, and we will help you in any way possible. I believe you will find the Acellus learning platform to be very easy to navigate and work through, and we look forward to partnering with you, your children, and your families as always. Thank you for your time, and go Hornets.